Hey, welcome to Revive Talk. We're so glad you joined us today. We are in a time in our society where there are struggles going on. We know what's going on in our economy, in our political world, and there are people all over suffering. And so we've been talking recently to different ministries, different people who are out there to help people in our community. And today we're joined by Rob Raniere from House of Hope here in Martin County. Rob, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about who is House of Hope?
Sure. So House of Hope, our mission is to empower Martin County residents to overcome hunger and hardship. And we do that through several different means. Primarily, we have case management services. So when a client comes to us, usually it's food-driven, food insecurity. About 75% of our clients, that's the reason they walk through our doors. But they'll meet with a case manager, we do an assessment, and we really dig into root cause with them to why did they need that support from us in the first place. And then from there, we have a lot of internal services. So our case management team, our food resources, we do nutrition education. We have our Golden Gate Enrichment Center, which is all free classes with programs in health and nutrition, job skills and job training, educational opportunities, computer skills trainings. So we can really kind of try to take a holistic view of the household and support them with everything they might need. In that Golden Gate Center, we have programs from as early as early learning classes, getting kids kindergarten ready, straight through on up to senior programming, trying to help senior citizens with health issues or socialization opportunities and everything in between. So,
wow.
So it's a broad approach that we take to helping people overcome poverty and overcome some of their financial challenges and get to that stable level.
Fair enough. Now, how long has House of Hope been around?
We've been around for 36 years. Real humble beginnings. Started out with a couple of families that saw an evolving need in Martin County and really just wanted to make a difference. Their Christian faith and beliefs led them to try to do something. So they were literally feeding people out of the trunks of their cars, driving around, making sure people had enough to eat. And obviously, 36 years later, we've taken a pretty big evolutionary path from those humble beginnings. But they've one of the families has actually stayed involved with us as well over the years. So they're still living local and keep tabs on us and check in with the good work that we do.
That's awesome. I had no idea there were so many parts to it and that you offered so much help to the community.
Yeah, tell us about the different locations.
Sure. So our primary location, our headquarters, is it's in Stewart in the Golden Gate area, right on A1A. And then just 2 blocks from there is also where the Enrichment Center is. So that location we'll see about half of our clients come through there. Right now, we're reaching a little bit over 7,000 people each month with food and financial assistance support, the 2 primary programs, opportunities that are running right now and running really at a high pace. We also have a branch in Jensen Beach, one in Indiantown, and one in Hope Sound. We have 4 nutrition gardens spread across the community as well. So we get some food out of those, but we use them more for outreach and education.
Now, tell me what a nutrition garden is.
So we have 4 small gardens. A couple of them are partnerships. Well, actually, 3 of the 4 are partnerships. We have one in East Stewart that we partner with the city of Stewart on. We have one at the YMCA right over here. And then we have one down at the Banner Lake Club in Hope Sound. So those gardens we use, we have a nutrition educator on staff. So she does a lot of nutrition education classes for children and families, trying to hopefully help them build better habits around lifestyle and diet. And then our 4th garden is right behind the Golden Gate Center. So we'll do gardening classes there. We'll tie it into cooking classes as well. So every way we can find to kind of build on that foundation for people for healthier lifestyles we try to use.
Wow. You have said a tremendous amount so far. So let me maybe break it down a little bit.
Sure.
You have thrift stores, yes?
Yes.
Tell me about where they're at.
So we have one up on US 1. That's just a thrift store. We have about 14,000 square feet of retail space there. It's a great revenue generator for us. We also use it. We do some job skills training in there for people as well. And then it's programmatic. So for our clients, a couple of times a year as they have needs, they can voucher shop. So they can go in there and get clothing, for instance, for back to school, or if they need an appliance, things of that nature. So rather than having to spend some of their household revenue, if we can fill that gap and help keep them on track financially, we can do that through our stores. We also, each of our three main branches for client services, Hope Sound, Jensen, and Indiantown, all have a small thrift store attached to them, and they use it the same way. They generate some revenue, but it's also a program and a service for our clients.
And I'm assuming this is a thrift store that you can donate to.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you have a pickup service for things?
We do. So right now, because of the challenges with COVID, we're not entering people's homes for pickups, but we are taking things 7 days a week at our US 1 store. So that's been real busy over there since it reopened. Our back door seems to never stop opening and closing with people dropping things off, and we're very grateful and fortunate for that. Again, because it generates some revenue, but it's also a great way for us to be able to support people in need.
That's wonderful. I know when we first moved here, which was years ago, I don't know, maybe 14 years ago, we were so impressed that House of Hope was the main, ministry like this that we saw locally. And it was locally grown and owned. And it's just spread in like every town within Martin County. But I love that it's local and it came out of the city and it's helping the local city.
And that's definitely our primary focus. But we do, the past couple of years, we've really moved also into sort of a food bank mode because we're able to secure so much good, high quality food at no cost. We're sharing that with other ministries, not just in Martin, but even beyond. So we have food partners up and down the Treasure Coast. We have several down in Palm Beach County. So this year we'll probably do about 1 million, probably 1.2 million pounds of food. And it's pretty even split between what we give out direct to our clients and what we help some of our food partners with to make sure that their church pantries and soup kitchens can function at a high level.
So we've gone from multiple thrift store locations now into food pantry, food bank style. Now, where are those locations at?
So the food each of the locations that I mentioned has a food pantry, has a small thrift store, and then it also has case management services. With the exception of our main office here on Bonita Street in Golden Gate, that thrift store moved up to become the big store we have on US 1.
All right, so people can obviously go directly into your thrift store in a retail market kind of setting.
Yes.
If someone were in a situation then where food is a need or an issue, how do they contact you? How does that process work?
So pretty easy process. Our website is hohmartin.org. So they can go on there and they can find the location that's closest to wherever they might live in the county. And then a phone call or an email will get them connected right into the system, and they can get set up. If someone needs food today, they can come in and get food today. And then to fully enroll, there's a few other things that we need to bring just to show they live in Martin County, bring an ID, things like that. So if they don't have those things with them, they're still going to leave with food, and then they can come back and turn in their paperwork to be fully enrolled. And then once they're fully enrolled, we can connect them to all of our programs and services. We'll also, part of that assessment process that we do with them, we will uncover other gaps or needs that they may have outside of our capacity to serve, but we'll connect them to partners that can assist with that. So we do about 1,200 or more referrals every month where we connect people to services outside of House of Hope's realm, again, just to try to take that holistic approach and make a difference for the household.
Yeah, I don't think I realized how broad your services were. You mentioned the, I'm sorry, I may have forgotten the name, the Resource Center, the building that's down the street from your main location. The Enrichment Center. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit more in detail about what's going on at that Enrichment Center. What would a person want to come to the Enrichment Center for?
Sure. So it's actually interesting because the building itself, it's the historic Golden Gate building. And it's
Two-story building, correct?
Yeah, it's a beautiful
right
old building. It was in a kind of a declining state for a long time. A group of ladies in Golden Gate formed the Golden Gate Historic Society to try to save that building because it was literally leaning over and didn't have much longer to stay up. And they were successful. They secured some state and federal dollars. The county matched some dollars. So they were at least able to save the building. They got a new roof. They sort of put these braces to straighten it up and secure it, make it a safe environment, but then ran out of dollars. So it sat empty for a long time. And we came along and went to the county, who owns the building now, and said, we could fundraise to finish it, but we want to use it. We want to turn it into an enrichment center. So the county was definitely agreeable to that. So we've got a long-term arrangement with them to use the facility. And we opened it up to programs. We did sort of a community assessment to figure out what were some of the needs. And it's really partnership driven. So a lot of other agencies can come in and offer programs and services. So we work, for instance, real closely with the health department, with the library. Martin County Library has, we do multiple things in concert with them in the building. English as a second language classes. We have an early learning class where kids get a taste of sort of that pre-kindergarten, get ready for kindergarten opportunity. And then we also do some work through that program with parents to help them get more comfortable with how they can support their child's learning at home. So the library, like I said, has just been a terrific partner. We're a library outpost in that building, so we have some books on hand that people could check out. And if we don't have what they need, they can request it. The library will send it over, and people can pick up and drop off books right there. So for folks that have transportation challenges and cannot get to the library, we can bring it to them. So that's been wonderful for us around literacy and just access for, especially for some of the students that live in the Golden Gate community, to be able to do that and provide that service. We do some things around health and nutrition. So some of it is driven by our staff and our nutrition educator. Some of it is in concert with the health department. And one of their nurses there, Mary Beth Pena, she does a diabetes support program. So teaching people how to live better with that condition and how to improve it through health and diet and exercise. We do some computer classes in there. We do financial literacy classes that start with everything from home budgeting straight on through to how to get ready if you want to try to build your credit to eventually one day own a home. So we cover a lot of bases with that. So again, it's that holistic approach, and we focus on health, nutrition, education, job skills. Our career coaching is active right now at the building, so we're getting a lot of people that have lost hours or lost employment due to COVID. So our career coaches can work with them. They'll do sort of an assessment with them, figure out new career opportunities. Sometimes people might not be familiar with even how the job search market works in this day and age. There's not a lot in the want ads anymore in our newspaper. It's all online. So our coaches can help them navigate those job sites. We'll coach them up. If they start to get interviews, we kind of do some mock interviews with them and get them comfortable with the kinds of questions they may be asked on an interview. So we cover all of those bases. Again, just trying to take that full view of the household. The goal for us, it's empowerment, but it's also we want to get them to a sustainable and stable level. So however we can do that through health, through education, through job skills, to help them earn more and not need our services, that's the goal,
I think I asked the wrong question. I think the right question should have been, is there anything you guys don't do?
There's a few things we don't do, but we have great partnerships across the county, too, with a lot of other agencies, nonprofits, and church groups that we work with to fill some of those gaps. So it's really, I think one of the nice things about Martin County that is probably a little bit different than some of the other communities is there really is a strong willingness of the partners, the collaboration through the nonprofit agencies to take a client wherever they started and give them that support and guidance and, resource help that they need to get them to a good level. So And even the government agencies are the same. The health department is involved in that. Martin County, through their Health and Human Services Department and through the Veterans Affairs Department, we all really work closely together to try to assist. And it's really a beautiful thing.
How long generally do you work with people? Is it a short-term relationship? Is it longer?
It really, we don't set like a time limit
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's journey is different, So we'll never time somebody out. What we try to do is continually self-evaluate what we're doing for them. And we every 6 months, if a client's with us past 6 months, we do that assessment again that we do initially when we meet, so we can chart progress and see what gaps are we filling and if any new gaps evolve for that household, so we can continually update their plan with them, help them, and guide them through that process. So we have clients that have been with us for several years. We have clients that, they kind of know how to do things. Like if it may be a 2-income household and someone lost a job. And so while that person is job searching, maybe they needed help with a light bill or some food, but then they get a job and we may never see them again. So it varies. And then we also work with a lot of seniors who we're not going to change their household income. Obviously, they're retired, but we can absolutely change quality of life. So we'll never time them out. As long as they live here, we'll support and help them every way we can. And we'll try to provide them socialization opportunities, education opportunities, health opportunities, just again, to improve that quality of life for them.
If someone wants to contact you, is the best way to do that through your website?
Definitely the best way is through the website, and they can see all the ways if they want to help us. There's a tab that says, give help, and it'll tell them all the ways they can help: donating, volunteering, contributing their old clothing, furniture, things like that. And if they need help, there's a Get Help tab, and it will tell them all the ways we can provide assistance and how we can fill those kinds of gaps, just so that way they can feel good that they're connecting with the right place. And I'd be remiss, too, if I didn't say, since I mentioned volunteering, that really is a key driver for our success. Last year, we had over 46,000 hours of volunteer time donated to us by amazing people all across the county. Sometimes it's consistent where once a week they can carve out time to come in, whether it's in one of our pantries or our garden or our farm. And sometimes it's sort of periodic, where we call them episodic volunteers, where they may come in and help us harvest at our farm once a year, or maybe they help with one of our food drives, things like that. So volunteers really play such a key role in our success. There's no way we could have the reach and the impact that we do without all of that. I mean, it equals those hours equal up to over 20 full-time employees. We've only got a staff of about 33 people, so that's an extra 20 people basically that we get through volunteerism. It really makes a big difference.
That's very cool, because people are always looking to serve and give back in their community. So serving, volunteering, donating. What about like contributions, and where do most of your contributions come from? Are they different organizations? Do churches support you, individuals?
Also very varied. We get a nice piece of revenue from our thrift stores, especially the big one on US 1. But we also get great support from across the community, just individual donors, everything from, $5 a year to, $75,000 a year, and everything in between. We have a very broad base of support, and it's all important and it all adds up. A lot of the local large funding entities help us a great deal. The United Way, for example, is a fantastic supporter of our mission. The Community Foundation of Martin and St. Lucie, also through some of their fund holders, they're great supporters for us. The Hope Sound Community Chest, Lob Lolly, they have a fund. Mariner Sands has they do a activity, they call it Charity Week. And for a week every year, they fundraise in their community. And then they have about, I think it's 8 agencies like us that they divide those dollars up and support. So like I said, all the major funders, I mean, it really is a diverse look for us. We do a few events a year also that generate some dollars. So we have a pretty wide range of how we generate our revenue to be able to support the mission.
We were talking before we started that the last 5 months has been interesting for this community, for everyone. How has it affected you?
We are busier than ever is probably the short version. We've seen about 700 or so new families coming in for food support since COVID all began. Our financial assistance programming in the last 3 months, we've probably put out more dollars to pay people's rent, utility bills, mortgages, things like that than we typically would do in a year. We've also been very fortunate. Our county and our United Way have brought in, through the federal CARES program, there's some dollars available to help people with all those things I just mentioned, utilities, mortgage, rent, insurance, things like that. So us and the Salvation Army are the two entities that are screening the clients for eligibility for those CARES dollars. So that's another opportunity that's kept us real busy. I think we have about 140 applicants that have come to House of Hope through the United Way since that program started, not quite 2 weeks ago. So, and that program, it's actually wonderful. It's designed to get broader reach than what we typically serve. Generally, our audience is lower income earners. But those CARES dollars really are set to help people straight up through into the middle class. So a family of 4 earning, $70,000 that has seen a change in their income due to COVID could actually come and apply for some of these CARES dollars. So it's tremendous help. And hopefully more people will continue to take advantage of that resource as well.
I am thoroughly impressed.
Thank you.
I've lived in this area for about 16 years, and I knew of House of Hope as a thrift store and as a bit of a food distribution. Had no idea all of the other things that you guys are involved in. But let's talk about the future.
Sure.
With 36 years and getting to this point here, how do you see the future rolling out? Where's House of Hope going next?
So right now we're doing a lot of programming work and expansion work out at our farm. So we've got some funding that came to us through the Community Foundation of Martin and St. Lucie. So the next addition out there is going to be a packing house. And I got to get you guys out there for a tour too one day to show you what we're doing. So currently we have 2 hydroponics greenhouses. And then we have some in-ground conventional farming as well out there. So the greenhouses, one of them has 76 11-foot towers. It's about 4,000 plants. And the other one it looks like a series of gutters. It's a 20 by 60-foot building. And that one we're growing all lettuces in there. So between those 2 greenhouses, the productivity has been phenomenal. So the packing house is going to allow us to package out all the produce that we're growing. And we're getting ready. Hopefully in the fall, we'll add a small grove of fruit trees out there and some berry bushes. So that packing house will really let us extend the shelf life of everything we grow and a lot of produce that gets donated from the local farms. We'll be able to package it better, store it effectively, and then from that point, distribute it out amongst our pantries and our partners. So that's the next kind of big piece for us. Our farm it's actually right on the corner of Citrus and 714 in Palm City.
Okay.
You'll probably see there's a red barn there that's actually a farmer's market, Palm City Farms. And the owners of that, the Dawson family, came to us, I guess probably close to 3 years now, and they knew we had gardens, so they said, we know you're growing food, but do you want to really grow food? And so they have actually donated all of that land for our use to us. So their generosity really was a great launch point for us to build the farm and focus more on that consistent, opportunity to have fresh, healthy fruits and veggies for our clients. The packing house, so not only will it help us, but part of what we would want to see happen and how we want to use that packing house will be to work with some of the local small farmers. So a lot of them grow and sell, but they don't have a resource to package it, or if they do, they have to, there's a cost associated with that, and it's usually out of the general area for them to truck their produce there, package it, truck it back to sell it. So we're hoping to partner with some of the local farmers that could use that service and let them use the packing house. And rather than have that cost money, maybe they'll, donate a piece of whatever their crop was, and we can take that opportunity to get more fresh foods out to the people that we're serving.
Rob, we are coming to the close of our time. And what I'd like you to do is take an opportunity here to maybe address directly those people who you can meet their needs. How do they reach out to you? What's available? What's your attitude in receiving them? Those kind of things, so they would find a comfort level with contacting you.
Sure. So our website, again, is the easiest way, hohmartin.org. And I would encourage anybody, if you have a need, or someone in your family, or an acquaintance, please do direct them to us. That's what we're here for. We're here to serve. We try to make the access to services as easy as possible. We want to help. We want to make a difference. I think anybody will find the environment welcoming in any of our branches. Our staff is trained. They understand, the challenges. Many of them have walked in those shoes. So again, take advantage of us as a resource. Come and just connect, see what we have to offer and how we can help. We know that I think the hardest thing for many people to do is to say, I can't make it alone and I need some help. It's really a tough thing. Nobody wants to be in that situation. We're going to do our best to help you with your immediate needs and challenges, and then set you up for success and help you get back on track so that you won't need us or anyone, and you can get back to, meeting your goals and doing the things that you want to do with your life and for your families.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Our guest today has been Rob Raniere with House of Hope in Martin County. And I'll just say it this way. What an incredible broad range of assistance is available there. I also want to encourage you to check out hoh.martin.org.
hohmartin.org.
hohmartin.org. That's the website. So if you're interested in volunteering to help during these times, if you're interested in donating to help during this time, if you're interested in donating furniture and or time, volunteering, please contact hohmartin.org. House of Hope. Thank you so much for being here with us today. God bless. Have a good day.